Harry Potter is a dirty, rotten cheater, and I'm not talking about the Triwizard Tournament or that nonsense with the House Cup every year.
10 billion points for Gryffindor!
No. What I'm talking about is how J.K. Rowling develops his character. She uses this weird system of paradoxes for developing Harry's character that on paper doesn't really make sense, but in reality, it still works. I believe how she did this has something to do with why Harry Potter saw the enormous success that it did. But before we get too far into that, we should discuss the fundamentals of creating characters and how to develop them. Creating characters is all about establishing their worldview, and this is done the same way that it is in real life, through a person's experiences. This is often called crafting a backstory, fleshing out things like their participation in past events, religious beliefs, education level, socioeconomic status, any training that they might have, or even negative things like ignorance, illness, trauma, or flaws can help shape your character's worldview. This worldview is what helps determine what choices a character will make when they are faced with conflict. And this is the magic formula for creating drama. Characters plus conflict equals drama. Now you move into the development stage. Characters encounter and resolve different conflicts continuously throughout the story, and you can start to discern patterns in the choices that they make. After enough time, you should be able to categorize the character into one of two modes, static or dynamic. This refers back to their worldview. Static characters, no matter what conflicts they encounter or choices that they make, don't change their worldview. Dynamic characters will. Let's take a look at some famous examples from literature. Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird is a static character. He doesn't change throughout the story and is always a pillar of morality and decency. On the contrary, Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol is a dynamic character. Over the course of the story, he goes from being a stingy miser to becoming a man of great generosity. Now, let's bring it back to Harry Potter. Before we get too far into the video, I should give a spoiler warning. If you haven't read the Harry Potter books or seen the movies, do yourself a favor and go do so. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. A lot of the character development in Harry Potter is done really well. But there is one big aspect where J.K. Rowling fudges the system, and it has to do with the character of Harry himself. So here's the million-dollar question. How does J.K. Rowling cheat at Harry Potter's character development? The answer is through a system of revealed paradoxes. Rather than try to explain this, it's probably more effective to just show you what I'm talking about. So hang with me for a second. Harry Potter is the most famous person in the wizarding world, yet somehow isn't a popular kid. He is completely unwanted by the Muggle world, yet finds belonging in the magical one. He is an orphan, yet he has a family that everyone would want to be a part of. He is a scrawny nerd, but is also a super jock. He is the chosen one, but it could have easily been Neville. He is a Gryffindor, but also has all the makings of a Slytherin. He defeated one of the most powerful wizards ever, yet is kind of just average at magic. He is the boy who lived, but he must die to fulfill his destiny. He is poor and destitute, yet also somehow completely loaded. Seriously though, how did he get all of this money? Did the entire wizarding world set up a GoFundMe after Harry's mom got easy clapped by Voldemort? Honestly, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read the books. Of course, some of these examples exist because of the nature of Harry Potter himself. Him being a Horcrux for Voldemort definitely removes a few of these from the list, but there are still plenty of examples left to prove my point. And these were just a few ideas off the top of my head. If you can think of any other paradoxes, feel free to share them in the comments section. It's bizarre to me that this was the main approach taken for developing the character of Harry, and I can only think of one reason why. Mass appeal. Harry Potter no doubt found insane international success, and I think that this might be one of the reasons why. With a character that is developed with a system of paradoxes like this, almost everyone from any walk of life will be able to identify with him. We've all either felt like an outcast or the popular kid. Most of us can loosely be categorized as either nerds or jocks. Some of us probably have moments where we feel like the chosen one, or maybe we feel like that opportunity got passed on to another. A few of us might be super loaded, or maybe we're poor like Harry used to be. We might come from loving families, or we might be orphans too. I don't know for sure, but it seems like this could be one of the reasons why Harry Potter reached so many of us. And while it's true that I've never seen this style of character development before, does that mean that it's automatically cheating? Well, I'll let you decide that for yourself, but let me explain my reasoning why I think it is. With this system, two main things happen. First, all of Harry's attributes become unearned, and second, J.K. Rowling can reduce any of these qualities to become meager plot devices whenever it's convenient. Harry is popular enough for Professor Slughorn to want him in his club, but somehow not popular enough to pull the girl he has a crush on. I mean, come on, did he forget the ultimate charismatic spell? Resendo? What a scrub. Harry can't levitate a feather, but he can murder Quirrell in the basement with the power of love. He is poor enough to fit in with the Weasleys and not make them feel awkward by his immense wealth, yet can give Fred and George the massive loan they need to start their business. And let's talk about wealth for a moment. Remember, Ebenezer Scrooge wasn't always a stingy old miser. He was a normal guy whose love for money began to overshadow his love for his fellow man. That's why he doesn't burn wood in his furnace during the winter. He would rather Bob Cratchit freeze than eat into his profit margin. I'm not saying that Harry Potter needs to go through a journey like Scrooge, but J.K. Rowling can dip into either side of Harry's attributes whenever it's convenient. She can lean heavily into Harry's nerdiness when she wants to create angst in his romantic struggles, but she can also ramp up his Chad factor whenever Team Gryffindor needs to clutch out a dub in the Quidditch match. Maybe you wouldn't consider this cheating at character development, and that's alright. You're entitled to be wrong in your opinion. No, that was a joke, I'm just kidding. But this dichotomy has always seemed weird to me. I think it's meant to represent the everyday man. Sometimes we're cool, and sometimes we're really lame. Or maybe it's meant to just be a part of the magical experience.
Close!
But now, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? Can you think of any examples that prove me right or wrong? I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. I have to give a huge shout out to my patrons who made this video possible, especially Javi G and Elias Aksanov. You guys are absolute kings. If you would like to help me make more videos like this one, and get your name in the credits, please consider becoming a patron. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Drew Malou, and I'll see you storytellers in the next video.